If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell icon to get the latest updates.
So yesterday where we are stopped, yesterday we discussed about the complete cycle, and these two PPTs I attached in the assignment tab. You can go and see the assignment tab. These are the two PPTs yesterday what we have discussed. Okay, I have attached in the Slack. Okay, you can see. Okay, now there is a point we are discussing here. Okay, a plant is a place where the materials are going to be evaluated. A plant is a place where the materials are going to be evaluated. So what is the plant is called as? If I'm going to be evaluating the material at a plant level, then the plant is called as. So I'm putting a question to all of you. Okay, at what level you are going to be evaluating the plant? Okay, that is what yesterday. Okay, so the topic what we are going to be discussing here is nothing but if I go to SPRO, we are defining the plant or not, IMG. If I go to an enterprise structure, definition, if I go to the logistic general, how many types of enterprise structures are there?
2.
What are they?
Logical and social.
Logical and social enterprise structure. So we are entering into the logical or we are entering into the social?
Logical.
Logistics. Okay, very good. Okay, logistics. And here, valuation level. What is the valuation? Yesterday we discussed this. What is the valuation?
Valuation level is
Yesterday I
a
discussed
group
that.
of plants, right? We can assign.
No, that is the valuation modifier. A valuation level is nothing but we have two types of valuation level. One is a valuation at a company code level, valuation at a plant level. If you are going to be evaluating the material which is impacting to your production planning, PP, because you are manufacturing a product, you are going to be issuing the raw material to the production. You are evaluating the material. You are evaluating the material at 3 different levels. One is at a raw material level, at a semi-finished goods level, and at finished goods level. So which has a direct impacting to the production planning. Then that particular area we are going to be calling it as the valuation level. We actually discussed that the point what we are discussing is nothing but I told the quantity structure and without quantity structure. If you want to use the application component production planning, then you have to define the valuation level. The plant is required definitely. If you are going to be using the production planning, if you are going to be doing some manufacturing of the product by using of raw material, if you are implementing the module called as the production planning, then the plant has to be defined. If you don't define the plant, are you going to evaluate any material? Nothing. So the production planning. What about the service companies, Mahesh? If there is no manufacturing, if there is no production planning, then there is no need to implement any plant location and division for that. If you take a banking industry, or if you take an insurance company, or if you take any kind of like Amazon or something like which are going to be doing the service-oriented companies. Like a telecom industry, if you take telecom industry like AT&T, Verizon, okay, something like, okay, you're taking for mobiles, something like whatever maybe. So they're doing the service oriented. For the service oriented, do you define any valuation level? Yes or no? No. Why? Because there is no even the plant level we are going to be using. So for that valuation level, we are going to be using the company code, not as a plant. If there is no plan, if there is no implementing the production planning and the costing for them, we are not implementing them with the plant level. We are going to be using the company code level. Why? Because there is no implementing of a marketing process of PLM, plant maintenance.
But
so there are
Mahesh, one query.
Yeah.
If it is a service company, and for SD module, we have to have plans.
Exactly. For the SD module, we are going to be implementing, but the SD module, we are going to be doing the valuation only for the single product that is going to be called as the finished product only, not for the raw materials and not for the semi-finished goods.
Yeah, but service industry, we need plant-wise accounting. For
why you require the plant? Tell me. For the service, why do you require the plant? Are you going to get the material are you going to procuring any raw material and doing the manufacturing and then you're going to be doing
not for for billing purpose.
For the billing purpose, what you're going to do? So I'll tell you one example. Very good. Okay. But I'll tell you one example here. Okay. Now, if I take one example here, if you take a SD, what you're going to do? You're going to be creating the sales order. I'm right or wrong?
Yes, you are right. Yeah.
And we are going to be doing the delivery. Just simple see here, delivery.
Correct.
And with the delivery, we are going to be doing the PGI, post goods issue. And then finally, what you're going to do, you're going to be doing the billing. So these all are going to be done at a company code level. Are you going to give any plant here?
Basically, where we have seen the structure, it's based for calculation of taxes, CGST,
Exactly.
SGST. We are
Calculation
working
of the,
with plant. Because
exactly.
in under
But
one company code, we have multiple plants and registrations
exactly.
under GST.
Exactly. So here you are going to be receiving the sales order, you're going to be delivering the sales orders, and you're going to be doing the billing. If the plant is going to be applicable, you are going to be taking the plant, when you take the plant here, when you are going to be taking the plant here, if I'll tell you, if you are doing the manufacturing, okay, if you are doing the procurement of the raw material, if you are doing the semi-finished goods, okay, if you are going to be doing the finished goods, then you have to take the plant as a valuation level. But here, if you are running only the sales order process, you don't have the manufacturing and you're not having any procurement of the material. If you're doing only the sales process, then definitely plant is required. But for the plant, we are assigning one company code. For the plant, we are assigning one company code. I will do the material valuation at a company code level, not at the plant level.
Correct.
We are going to be doing, yes, without the plant, I cannot create the sales order. That is true. But what we are going to be using, I'm not using the plant as my valuation level. Here, I will use my company code as a valuation. Why? Because you are doing the valuation only for the single product that is going to be called as a finished product only, not for the semi-finished goods and not for the raw material. If you see here, the statement is also very clearly tell the plant level you're going to be. It's a company code level. The decision you make invalid for the whole client, you are recommending your recommendation settings, material valuation at a plant level. For this plant, you're going to be assigning the company code. The company code is a mandatory. That is what exactly I'm doing the valuation by, because this is only for the single material, for the single valuation level.
Correct. Got it.
So if it is going to be the valuation at the two levels, yes, SAP is providing the valuation at a two level. One is the valuation at a plant level and one valuation. So when I should go for the plant level, if you are implementing the component called as the production planning and the costing. Costing means production planning. That is nothing but PP module, and we are going to be called product cost controlling. Product cost controlling with quantity structure and without quantity structure. Yesterday I told that. Then it is a definition you should be given at a plant level. So very, very important. So here, if I go to the valuation, see here, valuation level. So if you're selecting as a plant level, means definitely we are going to be using the production planning with product cost controlling. If it is the company code level, means as I told you that it is only for the single product where you are going to be doing the sale of the goods to the customer. Is the statement is clear to all of you? Any doubt here in the valuation level?
Mahesh, quick question. What about services industry like software development, etc.?
That is at the plant. Then even I don't consider anything about the logistic general, sir. I don't require anything in that.
Yes. Okay.
Even I don't require the plant. I will not create any location. I will not do any kind of configuration related to the logistic enterprise structure. I will not touch anything about this.
Okay.
Okay.
You don't require to configure anything in that.
Nothing. Why should I require? That is what exactly the meaning. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks.
Why? Because I'm going to be dealing everything with my company code, not related to the plant. Now, when I go to the defined, when I go to the defined company code, that is nothing but a plant which are going to be copying, delete, and checking the plant. Plant is the organizational unit. Very, very important. Plant is the organizational unit where you are going to be doing the manufacturing of the product, and the plant is also called as a valuation area. A plant is also called as a valuation area. So for example, yesterday we are creating one purchase order. I'll go to ME23N. I'll see one purchase order. So here you can see this is the material you're going to be doing the procurement, and here you can see here there will be a plant will be there. This is the plant we are going to be using. You have plant 1 US. That is nothing but the plant is also, the plant name is 170. The plant name we are given it is the 170 address and everything. So you're going to be procuring the raw material. You're going to be procuring the raw material to this plant and for this particular storage location. So plant should be there because I want to evaluate this material. This is the raw material I'm going to be procuring. So plant should be there. So if I don't update the plant while I'm creating the material procurement, I cannot evaluate this material at a different level. And at this plant only, you're going to be doing the conversion. Very, very important. What is the conversion? Yes, I'll tell you one example. Yesterday, we were discussing two important things. You have received the goods. You have received the goods. How much quantity of the goods received and what is the quality? Okay, what is the unit price of each and every good? So the total is coming as a accounting document. So where these goods are going to be stored? Yesterday I told that. Where these goods are, once you receive the goods from the vendor, where you are going to be storing these goods? In a warehouse or not? In the storage location or not?
Yep.
I want the reply from everybody, please.
Yes.
So you're going to be storing these materials in the storage location. So which storage location? The storage location which I maintained while I'm creating the purchase order. This is my storage location. If I go to the storage locations, there are different. So one plant is having multiple storage location. If I see here, why these all many storage locations are coming? For one plant, I can assign multiple storage locations. So I can go and see the stocks which are available in each and every storage location level. I can go and verify the stocks in each and every storage location level. So now from this storage location, what you're going to do? Tell me. What you're going to do? You have all the raw material now. So you have to send this raw material to the plant so that their production people are converting the raw material to the semi-finished goods. Then what is the next one? What is the next process? You receive the raw material and you're storing in the warehouse. Then what is the next one? Raw material. Issue against
for production order.
Very good. Issue against the production order, not the purchase order. See here, I'm going to be calling it the issue. Issue is a minus or it is a plus?
Minus.
Minus. Issue is not a place. Which is the place?
Receipt.
Receipt is a place. As we discussed that yesterday, okay? Receipt is nothing but a place. Means you are increasing the inventory. But here you are issuing the raw material. Now the production people, they're going to be raising a production order. So you have to issue the raw material to the production order. Now what is the accounting entry here? What is the accounting entry? Raw material consumption account debit to raw material inventory account, whatever the material you receive, raw material inventory account. So you are issuing. So now the consumption account is coming into the picture. Where the consumption is going to be happened? The consumption is going to be happened at a plant level. You are going to be issuing the raw material against the production order for the plant. Means your production order has started. Now your PP module has been started from here. You are issuing the raw material to the production order. If I don't issue, they cannot manufacture the goods. So until or unless if you don't issue, that is what exactly consumption. When you call it as a consumption, it is going to be called as the P and L account. It is not a balance sheet. It is called as the P and L account. So a plant is a place where the goods are going to be manufactured, and a plant is a place where the materials are going to be evaluated. So when you're going to be using the consumption, it is going to be called as the semi-finished process is getting started here. Semi-finished products is getting started over here. So now if I go to the plant here now, okay, very, very important. Now if I go to the plant, IMG, enterprise structure, definition, logistic general, define, copy, delete, check plant. Now here you can see the plant here. Here you can see the plant. Now double click on the plant. Now, what is the plant we are going to be using? Our plant is going to be using. You are not going to be creating any plants, my dear friends. We are not. We are the functional consultant and we are the FI consultant. We'll never create any plant. This will be done by the SCM team, supply chain management team. You are not going to be responsible for creating of any plants. Okay, they will create the plant and they will assign it to the company code. Our duty is only to create the company code and let them know that this is the company code. Okay, so what is the plant? 1710 is nothing but a plant. If I go into the plant, if I select this plant, if I go into the details, you can see these all the details are created by the SCM team, supply chain management team. They are going to be creating the plant and the plant address will be given. And if it is a US related, we are going to be giving the tag duration code with a factory calendar, which is going to be called as the US and the country key is the US. And here, where is the plant located? Here you can see they will provide the address here. This is the plant address. For one plan, for one company code, you might have multiple assignment. One company code can be assigned to multiple plans. So here you can see here, this is the address of the plant. This is the address of the plant. Who will be creating? The supply chain management consultants are creating the plant and the location and everything. So if the plant is not available, they will be creating here. Once the plant is available, now what you are going to do? Where exactly the plant is located? We are going to be giving the location of the plant. We are going to be providing the location of the plant. So where the plant is located, okay, you can see these all are going to be called as the plants. Okay, our plant is this one. Okay, if I go into the details, okay, so here you can see this is the location ID and this is the location. And what is the address? This is the address of the location where the plant is located. You can give the street number, box, postal code, country, and everything. How you given for the company code. So you have the plant and you have the location. This is the location. And once you created the location, what type of goods you are manufacturing in the plant? That is called as a division. What type of goods you are manufacturing in the plant? Division. So you might be manufacturing several types of product in the plant. You can see these all are going to be called as a division. Okay, if I go into the division, you can see these all are going to be called as the divisions. Okay, so you're going to be manufacturing the steel, string bags, men's apparels, okay, slag, okay, drinker, women apparels, okay, consumer electronics and keyboard, mouse, okay, monitor, mobile, something like these all are going to be called as the divisions. A plant should have a location, and in that plant, what products you're going to be manufacturing. In one plant, you can have multiple divisions also. It is not a compulsory in one plant. For example, if I'm manufacturing some electrical or electronic equipment, I'm manufacturing some apparels like computer or a laptop. You're manufacturing the keyboard in the same plant, you're manufacturing the monitor, you're manufacturing the motherboards and everything in the same plant. So one plant can be assigned with multiple divisions also. It is not a compulsory with one plant with one division. So this is the basic org structure where I need to maintain as an SCM consultant. We have to maintain that logistic general. You are not the responsible, but it is for understanding level. Okay, we are going to be see all these things. So once you're defined what you're going to do, you're going to be doing the assignment or not. Definitely, I had to go and assign. There should be assignment should be done to my company code. If I don't assign it to my company code, I cannot derive the valuation. So what I can do here, go to the assignment, go to the logistic general. Here you can see here, assign the plan to the company code. How many plans can be assigned to one company? It depends upon your requirement. Okay, if it is a one-to-one relationship or one-to-many relationship, you have to define here. Okay, so if you number of the plans, so go to the assignment. Here you can see. Okay, here it is going to be my company code. And my company code is assigned. Here you can see only one company code is assigned to one plant. But here in the second example, you can see here, this particular company code is assigned with two plants. As I told you that one company code can be assigned to multiple plants. Here you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. One company code for 4 different plants are going to be doing. If you don't assign the relationship between the company code and the plant, okay, how the material valuation, how the GL accounting entries will flow to the FI. No, there is no common understanding here. Very, very important. So that is the reason every company code should be assigned to some plant. That is the reason if I'm creating a purchase order, you can see this is my purchase order. So you are creating the purchase order. If I go to the header, see here, you have a company code. But if you're not assigned this plant to the company code, then the system will throw an error. The plant is not assigned to a company code. If I go to the header in the org structure, in the organizational data, you're giving the company code. That company code is the mandatory where you're going to be assigning the plant. If you're given the company code, but you're not maintain the plant, then the system will throw an error. That is the reason, make sure that every company code is assigned to the plant. So that is the reason you can see 1710, my plant is going to be called as a 1710. If I given the company code 1710, but if I am assigning another plant which is not assigned to the company code, then the system will throw it. Why? Because the relationship is not maintained between the company code and the plant. So the assignment is a very, very important for me. Assignment is a very, very important for me. Now, for this company code, now come to the picture. For this company code, yes, If I go to the financial accounting, okay, if I go to the enterprise structure, no, if I go to the financial accounting, in the financial accounting for global settings, if I go to the ledger, if I go to the ledger, if I go and see my company code, how many currencies you have maintained for this company code? If I go to the 1710, my company code, how many currencies you have maintained? You have maintained only 2 currencies. There are no freely defined currencies you have maintained. And you can see here BSEC table. So BSEC table also, there are only 2 currencies are there. Okay, you can take one additional currency also. Now, come to the material valuation. So that we have to implement the material ledger. For that, we have to implement the material ledger. What is the material ledger? A material ledger is the concept of doing the valuations in different currencies. Okay, if I take a material, raw material or a semi-finished goods or a finished goods, you are going to be evaluating or not? Where you are going to be evaluating? You are going to be evaluating at a plant level. In how many currencies? That is the question. In how many currencies can I evaluate a material? That is the question here. That is the question here. In how many currencies I can do evaluation of a material? A material can be evaluated in 3 currencies. Make a note of this. This is certification question also. A material can be evaluated in 3 currencies only. Very, very important. A material can be evaluated in the 3 currencies. Okay, what are those 3 currencies? One is the 10. 10 is called as the company code, and second one is the 30. 30 is going to be called as group currency, and the third one is going to be called as the additional currency. Only 3 currencies. If you are evaluating a material, if I'm purchasing the material in not in a local currency, in a euro, my company code currency is a USD. But I am procuring the raw material in euro, not in the USD. But here my company code currency 10 is called as a company code currency. So you can evaluate in a local currency. Your group currency is a GBP. Your group currency is a GBP. And additional currencies also you can evaluate. For example, I'm taking some additional currency. Okay, that is nothing but euro. You can evaluate. So in 3 currencies, you can evaluate a material now. You can evaluate a material between the euro to USD. You can evaluate a material between the euro to GBP, and you can evaluate the material between the additional currency, that is the euro. So 3 currencies you can take for evaluating of a material. And at what level I can do the valuation? The valuation is always done at a plant level. Now come to the material ledger. Come to the material ledger. Where I can see the material ledger. If I go to the controlling, if I come to the product cost controlling, very, very important. Just now I told that a plant is a place where the materials are going to be evaluated. You're evaluating the material at a plant level. So when it is going to be at the plant level, then you are implementing the 2 modules. One is the costing, another one is going to be called as the production planning. So here, when I go to the costing controlling, here we have called as the product cost controlling. In the product cost controlling, go to the actual costing and material ledger. Now the material ledger is a mandatory now. All of you please remember, material ledger is a mandatory in our SAP S4 HANA. Okay. Now actual and material ledger. So here you can see, assign the currency types and define the material ledger types. Assign the currency types and define the material ledger types. Very, very important. Assign the currency types. Okay, how many currency types I told you? 3 currency types, and the material ledger type. For all the currency types you are maintaining for a material ledger type here. So if I go here, for example, this is all the standard SAP system defined. If I go to the new entry, you have to define one material ledger type. The material ledger type should be given with any 4-character code. Any 4 characters. Okay, you can do the material ledger type with any 4 characters. That is the material ledger type you are going to be using for the valuation of the material. Very, very important point. Very, very important point. So what is the material ledger type? For example, I'm using as a test. Description. I'm giving the description. Material ledger type for test, something I'm giving here. Example. I'm saving the requirement. I'm saving the requirement. I save the requirement. Now here you can see earlier these options are unlocked actually. Earlier means in SAP ECC, in SAP ECC, these two checkboxes are unlocked. Now you can see these two checkboxes have been freezed out. You cannot select anything here. Why? Why? Anybody can tell? This question we already discussed that. We already discussed that material.
It's already derived from the company code.
No, not like that. See here, there are two things are there. One is going to be called as a currencies for FI. Okay, that is nothing but currency types for the FI and the CO currency types. There are two things: currency types for FI and the CO currency types. Now come to the diagram. Very, very important diagram. Now you have to tell me the answer. All of you have to tell me the answer. This is FI. If you remember, I'll put a diagram. You can recollect when we have discussed this. Okay, this is the controlling. This is purely, I call it as the FI. This is going to be called as the controlling. How many currencies can I control? How many currencies in FI I can derive? 2 plus 8. How many are going to be? Totally 10. I'm right or wrong? All of you.
Yep.
Yep.
When you come to the BSEC, how many currencies are there?
3.
3. Okay, water maybe. Okay, so 10. And for example, I'm going to be taking the 30. First currency is the 10 and the second currency I'm going to be taking the 30 and the third currency example I'm taking the 40. In currencies, in controlling, how many currencies are supported?
3.
2.
2 only.
2. Yeah.
Not 3, not 3. So
Yeah.
one is going to be called as, if it is a 1-to-1 relationship, you are going to be taking the 10. If it is a 1-to-many relationship, you are going to be assigning the
30.
So earlier in SAP ECC, we have the 20 also. In SAP ECC, I'm talking. So 20 is a controlling area currency. Are you getting? All of you? In
Yeah.
ECC.
Yep.
But now in SAP S4 HANA, we don't have this. Okay, let it be. But I'll put it as a, I'll put it as a like this. Okay, but today we don't have this currency type 20. So when you are activating a material ledger, now very, very important. When you are activating a material ledger, very, very important. This is my material ledger. Material ledger is going to be called as a mandatory. When you are activating a material ledger for the valuation of the material, when you are activating a material ledger, somebody can mute your call, please, if you don't mind. Okay, thank you. So when you are activating a material ledger, now the system is asking what type of currency settings can I make for the material ledger? Very, very important. So here, yeah. So when here, if you see the controlling is nothing but a costing. You can call it as a costing. Controlling is always going to be called as a costing here. Very, very important. All the materials are going to be evaluated at a plant level. Plant is nothing but a place where the materials are going to be evaluated, so that if you are evaluating a material, then you are implementing the production planning and the costing. So when you see the costing, when the costing means when you are assigning the plant to a company code, FI is always going to be called as the company code. At a company code, how many currencies are there? 3 currencies are there: 10, 30, and 40. In controlling, when you see here, if there is a 10 and there is a 30, then material ledger is going to be activated in 3 different currencies. One is the 10, you can go to the 30, and you can go to the 40. This is what exactly the parallel. So here you can see, even if I go to the integration point of view, 10 is there in the controlling and 10 is also there in the FI. Okay. If I'm going to be implementing 30, if I'm going to be taking the second currency as a 30 in the material ledger, 30 is there in the controlling and 30 is also there in the FI. And I can take additional currency. This is not a mandatory. This is going to be called as a 2 additional currencies. If you're taking the additional currencies also meeting the requirement. But in this example, if my company, my controlling currency is not a 30, if my controlling area currency is a 20, then example, you cannot take the 20 as a second currency in FI. You cannot take the 20 as the second currency in the material ledger. No. then there is no integration. Now there is no valuation between the material ledger valuation, between the costing and between the company code. So you cannot implement the material ledger at all. You cannot implement the material ledger at all. There is a complete diversion. That is a complete conflict is there between the currency settings, between the costing and the financial accounting. In my financial accounting, it is a 30, but in the costing, you are going to be using that 20. So that is the reason SAP has removed the 20 currency type from the material. So from the SAP S4 now, we don't have the currency type 20 at all. If you have implemented the SAP ECC with 20 currency, before you do the system conversion to the ECC to SAP S4HANA, you have to change it in SAP ECC, change it to the 20 to 30, then only I can do the system conversion. So now in SAP S4HANA, we don't at all deal with the 20 currency type. We don't have this currency type 20 at all. They have removed. In place of 20, you have to make sure that your currency type of the second controlling area currency should be always will be a 30 only. That is the reason in SAP S4HANA, material ledger is a mandatory. All the actual postings of material ledger will go and store in the AC DOCA table. So when I come to this point here, you can see here, now these have been completely grayed out now. You cannot see, you cannot select your currency transaction. That is nothing but currency transaction for FI and currency types for FI and the CO currency type. You cannot select. Earlier we supposed to select, now you cannot select. Now you cannot select. Why? Because your material ledger is completely integrated. Now your actual postings of your material ledger is completely integrated with your AC DOCA table now from today onwards. Very, very important point, my dear friends. Yes, Mohan.
Yeah, just I have a question. So this material ledger, you said it is mandatory to activate the material ledger, right?
Correct. It is a mandatory.
Yes. Suppose we implement only materials management without production planning.
Then, very good question. It is going to be done at a client level. So why the system is taking you to activate a material ledger? Even if you're not using the concept of material ledger, leave it as a blank. You cannot utilize the material ledger. In some companies, the material ledger is a mandatory for them. Even though you're not going to be evaluating, but the material ledger is a mandatory for some companies. If they're implementing the production planning and they're implementing the costing, then definitely they want to evaluate the material in 3 different currencies. For them, it is going to be the mandatory. For you, it is not a mandatory. But even though also, even though also you have to activate it and you have to leave it, even though you are not utilizing the material ledger, you have to activate and just leave it as a blank. And then the activation, for you, the activation is going to be done in only, for you, it is activation, you are going to be done in only 2 currencies. I'm right or wrong? Because you don't require any 40 or you don't require any 30. Mahesh, for me, I just want to activate the material ledger, but I'm not utilizing the material ledger at all. Okay, then just simply just activate with 1 currency type and just leave it as a blank. Why? Because it is a mandatory step for you to activate.
Okay.
Now, if I go to my company code, if I go to my material ledger type, the system is giving the default material ledger type is always 9,000. Please make a note. Default, it is a default. SAP is giving you one standard material ledger type that is going to be called as a 9,000. If you don't want to use, you can create with your own company code, sir, with your own material ledger type. Now, for example, if you see here, I'm creating a test. Now go to the test and double click on individual characteristics. Okay. Now here, the default, it will come as a 10. 10 is the basic currency. But if you want to assign few more currencies, I can assign 30 and 40. Up to maximum, you can take up to 3 currencies only, not more than 3 currencies. Not more than 3 currencies. Very, very important. Material ledger is activated only at the 3 different currencies only. It should be equal to your FI currencies. Not controlling currencies, FI currencies. If you see here, I'm activating my material ledger type test at the 3 different currencies. You can see here, I saved it. If I go back, you can see there are 3 currencies are there. So you can evaluate a material in 3 different. 10 is my local currency, USD. My group currency is nothing but GBP, and hard currency, I'm going to be taking the euro. Example, just give an example. So this is the material ledger type you have created now. Okay. Now go back. Here we have called as assign the material ledger type to the valuation area. What is the assignment? Can somebody tell me now? assign the material ledger type to valuation area. What is this valuation area?
Plant.
Valuation area is a plant, right?
Plant
level.
only. Simple, very simple example. Good, very good. Whenever I see any kind of valuation area, it is nothing but a plant. Now you're going to be calling the plant as a valuation area now, from today onwards. Why? Because we are going to be evaluating the materials at a plant level. Whatever the currencies I assign to this material ledger type, 3 currencies have been assigned. So in 3 currencies, you can evaluate a material at a valuation area level. So when I come here, and you can see here, if I go to the new entry, if I give my valuation area, what is my valuation? Company code or plant? Plant. So if I go to the valuation area, these all are going to be called as my plants. You can see these all are my plants. If I select my plant, and I'm going to be assigning which type? Test. Test is nothing but my valuation type. So now you can see this material ledger type is assigned to your valuation area. Material ledger type is assigned to your valuation area means how, okay, so now your plant is called as a valuation area so that you can valuate the materials in 3 different currencies. What are the 3 different currencies? Then I need to go and see what are the currency types I assign. This is very, very important step. Once you complete this assignment, once you complete, now, for example, if you see here, okay, once you complete this assignment, okay, whatever the type you're going to be assigning. Now here, activate the material ledger for the valuation. Now you have to activate it. If I don't activate, then, so you can ask me a question now. Mahesh, you can ask me a question. What is the question? Okay, Mahesh. These are all the 3 materials you're going to be talking to, Mahesh. Raw materials, semi-finished goods, and the finish. For all the 3 materials, I need to create a master record. Material master record. You have to create a master record or not? Yes, definitely. For the raw material, you need a separate master record. For the semi-finished goods, you need a separate master record. And the finished goods, you need a separate master. All these 3 master records you are creating at a plant level, not at a company code level. Materials are created at a plant level. Always you have to remember this point. If I go to the SAP also, you can see here, all your materials, if I go to any material, my dear friends, if I go to any material, for example, if I see this material, TG11, you are creating at a plant level, not at a company code level. Now, very, very important. Now, activate the material ledger to the valuation area. Now, multiple materials are going to be created at a valuation area. Multiple materials are going to be created. Now, come to the step called the activation. Come to the step called the activation. Activate the material ledger. And very, very important here, you are activating always, you have to see that your activation is going to be coming in the green color. Why? Because you are going to be selecting the checkbox. If you're not selecting the checkbox, you're not activating the material ledger. Please make sure that you are going to be selecting the checkbox so that you are activating the material ledger, and your determination of the price should be done at a 2. 2 is nothing but transaction based. 2 is nothing but it is going to be called as a transaction based. Yes, based on the transaction, whatever the transaction I'm making, based on the transaction level, I need to evaluate the material. So I'm giving the price indicator as a 2. You can see the price indicator I'm giving as a 2. I'm activating the material ledger and you can save it. These 3 steps are mandatory now. These 3 steps are mandatory now. If I go to the materials are always created at a plant level. Already you have assigned this company code to the plant. Company code is getting defaulted from the plant. So this is the plant. You're creating all the materials. Now, if you see this material, your material is created at a plant level or not? Yes. Now this material you can evaluate now. So if I go to the accounting tab, see here, by default, for all the materials, you can see ML is activated by default. If you are creating 100 materials like this, for all the 100 materials, you can see the checkbox is the price determination is automatically coming as a 2. If the material list is not activated, you cannot select the checkbox. You cannot see the checkbox selected like this. Now, this material you can evaluate now. In how many currencies? Now, if I go to the material price analysis tab, in the accounting tab, if I go to the material price analysis tab, what is my plant? Plant is going to be, see here, plant is going to be called as a 10. Now go back, 1710. So this is your plant. And this is your material ledger type you are going to be using 001. Now go back. If I come to the currency types for the material ledger type, what is the material ledger type you are using? 001, this one. Now can I go and see how many currencies you assigned, Mahesh? Only 2 currencies. So you can evaluate your material in only 2 currencies. Okay, now if I click on this, okay, you can see here valuation. If I scroll down, see, you can only see 2 currencies. One is the company code currency, group currency. Only in 2 currencies you can evaluate the material. This is very, very important. This is called as a price determination based on the transactions. How many goods received you have done? What is the quantity you purchased? What is the value change? And what is the price? Okay. What is the total? What is the new price? Here you can see everything. You're evaluating the material. If I change it to the group currency is also same as my local currency. Example. So the group currency is also going to be looking. This is what exactly you can evaluate.
So, Mr. Mahesh, if your group currency and company code currency were different, you're saying with the currency, when you select down, the numbers would change below.
Change automatically. If the group currency is a euro, then the number will change over here automatically.
Okay.
Based on the exchange rates you are defined as on today.
Yes. Okay.
Between the USD to euro, euro to USD, indirect quotation and the direct quotation. So you're not using any company code. If you see here in the entire structure, you're not using the company code. You are using the plant because all the materials are procured at a plant level, not at a company code level. So that is the reason every plant you are creating, I'm extremely sorry. Every material you're going to be creating, the materials are always activated the checkbox. Why? Because you are activating the material. That is the reason these 3 steps are very, very important, so that you are going to be activating the material ledger. If this is what exactly, because actual costings are going to be stored in the AC DOCA table from today onwards. So that is the reason we are going to be called plant is a place where the materials are going to be evaluated. In how many currencies the materials are going to be evaluated? In 3 different currencies, the materials are going to be evaluated. One is a local currency, group currency, and the third one is going to be called as additional currency. Can I give more than 3 currencies, Mahesh? No, you cannot give more than 3 currencies. 3 currencies are maximum currencies where you can evaluate a material based on the material ledger. Yes, sir. Mohan.
Yeah, just the relation between currencies and material ledger. If we have the same currencies, like 3 currencies, so we can use only one material ledger for all plants.
Exactly.
Right?
You can only
so if you have different currency settings, then we can have different material ledgers.
Exactly. But you can assign only one material ledger type to your company code. If I see here, sir, your valid is a question valid. Okay. So if I go and see here, if I see the assignment of material ledger to the valuation area, material ledger type is only assignment. Here you can see here, very, very important. Here you can see there are 2 different company codes are there, 2 different plans are there, but the company code is going to be the same. I'm going to be assigning, and the material ledger type is going to be the same. You cannot have one valuation area with same valuation level of material ledger type. That cannot be available.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you clear?
Yeah.
See here, 1710, only one material ledger type. That is going to be in this material ledger type. How many currencies I assigned? 2 currencies. One is a 10, another one is going to be called as a 30.
30. Yeah.
Like that. This is why we call it the plant is going to be called as the valuation area. This is how we are going to be defining the plant. Then the materials are going to be created at a plant level. If I don't have the plant, I cannot create your purchase organization. Sorry, you cannot create your, what do you say? We cannot create our purchase orders. Okay. Now let me create one purchase order now. Okay, I'll take the reference of the same purchase order. My dear friends, how do you create a purchase order? I am creating the purchase order by using the transaction code called the ME21N. It is not the responsibility by the FI consultant. Just as an example I'm showing, we are not going to be creating any purchase order. MM consultants are going to be creating the purchase order. Enter. You can see now it has become as an empty. You have to give the supplier and everything, what type of material you're going to be procuring and everything. But if I want to take the reference of the existing purchase order, Mahesh, I want to take the reference of one existing purchase order and I want to copy it and I want to create a new purchase order because it is going to be the same. Okay. See here, there is an option called as a document on. All of you can see here, there is an option called as a document on. If you click on the document on, you can see the option here. The variant is going to be coming here. Okay, the variant is going to be coming here. You can see like this. The variant will come as like this, and you click on this variant. So, do you want to see the purchase orders you have created? My own means you have created by your own user ID. No, I want to see all the purchase orders. Okay, then click on the purchase orders. Okay. So do you want to filter based on the plant level, or do you want to filter based on the company code level, or sorry, what do you say, store location, or do you want to evaluate at a plant level? So at what level you want to search the purchase orders? Okay, Mahesh. Okay, let it search based on this, all the three parameters. Okay, remove this. Okay, now. Okay. I want to see maximum 5,000 only, not more than 5,000 here, example. So I want to search all the purchase orders you have created for this particular plant, Mahesh, not for other company codes or not for other plants. Okay, very good. I given the parameter, just execute. Now you can see for this plant, only there are these purchase orders that are available. You have created only 6 purchase orders for this particular plant. Double click. So this is the one purchase order. Double click. This is the second purchase order. Okay. So like this, you can see there are so many purchase orders are there. So which reference of the purchase order you want to take, Mahesh? Tell me so that I can go and create your purchase order. So I want to take the reference of this purchase order 4500004. So click on the create. Now you'll get an empty screen. Just okay. Hold on with the left mouse and drag it, and put it in this basket. This is nothing but this is the basket where you're going to be using with the reference. Just put it on, just leave it in the basket. Hold it with your left mouse and put it in the basket. You will get all the details of this purchase order. Now you can see here. No, Mahesh, I want to create a new one without any reference. Then you have to manually, enter the name and everything. For example, okay, so for example, I take, oh no, Mahesh, I don't want to create with the reference of other purchase orders. Okay, just go to the ME21N. Just I want to create the purchase order. So then you have to enter each and every field manually. Then you have to enter each and every field manually. Okay, so I will give the supplier who is going to be supplying the material. He is the supplier. Okay, I'll go to the header. For which purchase organization? Okay, my purchase organization is 17 because if I don't give the purchase organization, that will not be get created. Now, which material? TG11 is going to be called as a material. How much quantity you're going to be procuring, Mahesh? Okay, 100 quantity. Okay, it is the pieces. Okay, pieces. Delivery date. When you are going to be expecting the delivery date, Mahesh, 2011-2021. What is the net price? Tell me somebody what is the net price? Shall I give the net price? No need. The net price always will take from the middle master record, 71.17. Am I right or no?
Yes, you're right.
Yes.
So
but
no
it
need
will
to
derive. You can override, right? If you want.
We can override. I'll tell that concept also. Okay,
Yeah, okay.
We can override. So currency will come as a USD only, definitely. Okay, USD. And your material, okay, you're going to be using the material group. Material group is going to be derived from this particular plant only. This is the material. Whatever the material group you have given the particular, okay, it will derive from that. Okay, this is the material group I assigned in the plant. Sorry, what is the plant? Okay, the plant is going to be 1710. And for which storage location you want to assign? Okay, this is my storage location. Okay, so plant, this is my storage location. And you have to take only the storage locations which are assigned to your plant, not other storage location. Like this, I need to maintain this particular part. Like if you are not taking any reference of your existing purchase order. No, Mahesh, I want to take the reference of existing one. Then go to the purchase orders. take one reference, execute. Okay, it will come here. Okay, just click on create. Just click on create and hold on with your left mouse. Hold it, and leave it in the basket. Okay, automatically all the parameters will come here. Now, what you can do, you can switch off now. You can switch off now. Okay, if you switch off, okay, now you can change the delivery date. Your delivery date is not on 31st. Delivery date is 20/11/2021 delivery date. Okay, here you can see the net price is coming as a 15 because you're changing the net price. Automatically, you can see here the net price is getting changed. But according to the net price for this particular material, the net price is going to be the 71. If you don't give anything, okay, you're going to be giving the 15, then the net price will be overriding with the 15 USD then. Per quantity, per one quantity. Per one quantity. So here, how much you're going to be purchasing? 10 pieces. Now here, if I see here, the TG11 is going to be called as my material. And here you can see, I took an account assignment. Here always you can see here, account assignment category as a K. What is a K? K is nothing but a cost center. K is nothing but a cost center. Very, very important. You can see the K is nothing but a cost center. Okay, why you're taking the cost center? Mahesh, it is not an asset. I want to, because let it be very clear. I'm not procuring the assets like plant and machinery or something like furniture and fixtures. If you're going to be procuring the asset, fixed asset related, then I'll give the account assignment category as a A. But Mahesh, this is purely called as a procurement related. This is purely called as a procurement related. I'm ordering this material so that I can issue this material to my production department so that they're going to be starting the manufacturing. So I want to take that particular cost. I want to take it at the cost level. That is nothing but costing level. Very, very important. K is nothing but a cost center. So when you're taking the K as a cost center, if you come to the item details tab, only one material you're going to be taking. Here you can see there is a concept called as account assignment. Very, very important, my dear friends. Account assignment category. K is always going to be called as the account assignment category. If you're taking the account assignment category as a K, then click on the account assignment here. Click on this account assignment. And here you need to provide the cost center. And why should you provide the cost center now? Why you are going to be giving the cost center? Why? Because I'm using this material for the manufacturing. The raw materials are going to be issued to the manufacturing, Mahesh. Very, very important. This point has to be get noted. So when I'm going to be issuing the raw material to the production department, here you can see that raw material consumption account is getting debited. This is the P&L account. I want to see the value should flow to my controlling. Very, very important. Here I'm going to be implementing the controlling. Very, very important. In the controlling, just now I told that how many currencies you are going to be taking, 10 and 30. The value should flow to the controlling, Mahesh. Very, very important. The value should flow to the controlling here. This is very, very important topic we are going to be discussing. So CO, you are implementing the CO. You are implementing the CO. If I'm implementing the CO here, very, very important. If I'm implementing the CO, if I come to this diagram, at the time of purchase requisitions, you don't have the transaction. There is no controlling also. There is no FI and there is no controlling. If you are creating a purchase order is a purely a transaction. Purchase order is purely a transaction. There is no controlling. There is no FI. But when you are procuring the raw material, Mahesh, please make sure that when you are procuring the raw material, when you're going to be receiving the raw material from the vendor, instead of going this account to the inventory of raw material accounts, raw material account is getting debited and the GRIR clearing account is getting created. You are taking the account assignment category as a K here. Expenses should be get incurred. So that is the reason what I'm going to take. I am taking a K as an expenses. And here I'm going to be giving the cost center. Why? Because if I don't give the cost center, system will not accept. Why? Because K is always going to be the cost center. And if I'm giving the cost center, the values will flow to my controlling. What values will flow to the controlling, Mahesh? Very sure. This is the debit, whatever the debit and credit you are doing at the time of goods is both are the balance sheet accounts only. Yes, Mahesh, I understand that. At the purchase order level, you are taken it as a K. K is nothing but a cost center. But Mahesh, when you are receiving the raw material from the vendor, when you are receiving the goods receipt from the vendor, please make sure that your inventory of raw material account is getting debited and the GRIR clearing account is getting credited. Definitely. Both are the balance sheet accounts only, Mahesh. Both are the balance sheet accounts only. For the balance sheet account, there is no cost center at all because the balance sheet accounts will never carry the cost. Balance sheet accounts are the P&L account, liabilities and assets only. But when you're taking the cost center here at the purchase order level, I'm not going to be the debiting to the inventory of raw material accounts. Then what you're going to do? I'm going to be debiting to the raw material consumption account. I'm going to be debiting to this account, Mahesh. Raw material consumption account is the P&L account. Very, very important point. This is very, very important point because you are using the account assignment category as a K. So raw material consumption account is going to be, see here is the automatically you can see there is the account is coming and sitting here. This is the account I want to debit. So here you can see here. If I go to the FS00/O FS00, if I give this account here, see here, it is a consumption. It is not the P&L. It is not the balance sheet account. It is going to be called as the primary cost element. So the expense, because the cost center always look for an expenses account. So I'm giving the consumption account. I'm giving the consumption account. Let me go back to the previous ROM. Let me go back to the previous ME23N. 1 second. ME23N. If I take the existing purchase order, if I go to the purchase order history, see there is always you have done the invoice for this particular PO. I will do the goods receipt now. See here, I'm copying the same. I'll go to the MyGo and I want to do the goods receipt with the reference of this purchase order. I'll be pressing enter. So I'm doing the goods receipt. Earlier, there is no goods receipt, my dear friends. If I go to the ME, if I go to the ME23N, if I take this particular purchase order, you have done the invoice. RE is nothing but an invoice. RE is nothing but an invoice. You can see it is the invoice, but there is no goods receipt you have done. Yesterday, I told that. Invoice is there, but the receipt is not there. Now I'm doing the receipt, not the invoice. Invoice is already there. I'm going to do the goods receipt. I'm receiving the material. So that I'm coming to the MyGo. I'm coming to the MyGo. And in the MyGo, I'm giving which purchase order I'm giving the reference. The purchase order number has been given. So for this purchase order, I'm going to be doing the goods receipt. Now, in this purchase order, there is a 10 quantity is there. Definitely, if you go and see the purchase order, 10 quantity will be there. And here you can see the cost center is coming. Automatically, the GL account is coming here from the purchase order. Same GL account is coming and sitting here. Very, very important. So now, when I go and check it, okay, you have not flagged the OK. So you need to flag the OK. You have to confirm the goods receipt. Are you receiving or not? If you come down, there is the OK button is there. Select the OK button, press enter. So sorry. I'm getting too late. I'll go to the MyGo once again. And I'll give the purchase order, press enter. Come down. Okay. No, Mahesh, just receive only 5 materials. Okay, right. Okay. Okay. Only I'm receiving the 5 materials, not 10. Purchase orders you are raised for the 10, but I'm receiving only 5 materials. Okay, very good. Enter. Only you are receiving the 5. Out of the order quantity 10, you are receiving only the 5 materials now. Still 5 materials are open for the purchase order. So you're okay? Yes, I'm selecting the okay. Check. Okay, posting is only possible in the period, means the period was closed. Okay, so I cannot give the period. Okay, so I just give this old period. Okay, because the period was not open. So I'll give the 7th period. I'll give the 7th period, okay? Because the period 11 is not opened. 18/07/2021. Okay, let it be. Okay, now check it out. Okay, okay. It's just a warning, okay, related to that. Okay, now everything is looking fine. Now everything is looking fine, but I'm going to be receiving only 5 quantity. Now here we have an option called as a post. Now I'm posting. System will create 2 documents. One is the material document, another one is accounting documents. You took the account assignment category as a K. K is nothing but a cost center. Now you can see the material document was generated. 500040 was posted. You can see. Now go back. Go to the ME23N. See here, ME23N is going to be, okay. Here you will get the purchase order, one purchase order, 1 second. Okay, if you refresh it, it will come. If you refresh, it will come. Okay, I logged a user. Okay, so something like I log somewhere. I log somewhere. 1 second. So I took the same reference only, na?
Yes.
It has to come here. It has to come one more line here. 1 second. MIGO. If I go and see the display of that particular display. So this is the document number. Enter. Just I'm seeing that it does not exist in the calendar year of 2021. That is the reason here. Okay, because I posted in the previous month. Okay, that is what exactly the problem here is. Okay, display is not coming. 1 second. That is the reason it is not showing here. Okay. I posted in the previous month. 1 second, 1 second. So let me take it as a 20. I took it as a 21 only. Yeah, okay. Now you can see 5 orders your quantity, and if I go to the purchase order, you have taken this reference of this purchase order and the order quantity is a 10, but you're doing only for the 5. Okay, this is the material document number. Now if I go to the document info, you will find one FI document. Click on the FI document. See, now there are 2 documents I've generated. One is the accounting document, another one is the controlling document. Why the controlling document is coming? Because you are taking the cost center. If there is no cost center, the controlling document will not create. But you're taking the cost center, the controlling document was created, and one FI document should be get generated. Now, if I go to the FI document, double click on it. See here. Raw material consumption trading goods is getting debited. It is not debiting the inventory of raw material. Actually, I told that it should be debited to the inventory of raw material account to the GRIR clearing. But instead of inventory of raw material account, it is debiting to your raw material consumption account. Why? Because the cost center is coming. Why? Because if I go to my ME23N, here, this purchase order was taken as an account assignment category as a K. K is nothing but a cost center. I want to track the expenses. So that is the reason. Now you can see the invoice is coming now. Okay. It is going to the raw material 75. Why? Because I procured only the 5 materials. Out of 10, I procured only 5 materials. So you are taken it as a K. K is nothing but account assignment category as a K. K is nothing but a cost center. So when you're taking the cost center, it has to debit to your expenses account. So that is the reason. Instead of inventory of raw material account, it is debiting to your consumption account. If you don't take any account assignment category, if you're leaving this field as an empty, for example, if I go to other purchase order, if you're leaving, for example, I'll go to other purchase order like 10. See, another purchase order. So this is another. I have not taken any account assignment here. I'm leaving blank. So there is no account assignment tab itself. You can see there is no account assignment tab. Why? Because you're leaving this field. Then for this case, if I go to the purchase order history, if I go to the material document, it will not debit to the consumption account. Instead of it, it will go and debit. There is no controlling document also. See, there will be a material ledger document will be there, but there is no controlling document. See here, there is no controlling document at all. Material ledger, because you are activating the material ledger, you can go and see the material ledger document here. Okay, material ledger document, while valuation price, this is the valuation price. You can see analysis, you can go and do the analysis in which price you can do the analysis, but there is no controlling document. Why there is no controlling document? Because you are not doing the account assignment category as a A. You are doing with account assignment category without account assignment category. Now, if I double click on the accounting document, it will go and debit to the inventory, not to the consumption. Here it is going to be the consumption. In this example, it is going to the inventory. That is what exactly the account assignments you're going to be taking when you're going to be doing the material cost estimations for all the products. Is it clear now, all of you?
Yes, Mahesh.
Yes, Mahesh.
Yes.
Yep.
This
Hey,
is
Mahesh,
called the
may I ask
material
one-
ledger. Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm sorry. Can I ask just one quick, easy
Yeah, please,
question from
Please,
before?
Yeah.
I think you mentioned when we were discussing for the FI, CO, and ML, the maximum number of currencies. You mentioned for the CO, the maximum number is 2, but you did say like an ECC previously. Was it? It was
Previously,
a
it was
different
20.
currency.
20.
Yeah, 20 was previously, okay. But it's still an ECC, only 2 currencies were allowed, right?
Exactly. In
max.
ECC and SAP S4 HANA also only 2 currencies, but instead of 20, I will be taking 30 in SAP S4 HANA.
Okay, okay. Got it.
You know, all of you, what is the material ledger? Now the concept is clear to all of you now?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, little bit hard, but you just try to understand that, okay? Because I'm going in each and every point very detailedly so that you can clarify your doubts at any. These all are not a practical. See, I'm not going through the certification level. Okay, this is completely a real-time exposure I'm giving to you. It's a completely real-time exposure that, okay, you can understand that how very important topics we are going to be discussing. This is the detail level of FI to MM integration. We are not even gone to the detail. We are not even gone to the detail. We are here only. We are still here only. Where? In the goods receipt level only.
So my only question is like, if you give K, it will not flow to production order. So it will be only direct expenditure account.
It will go to the expenditure account. Very good. Correct.
Yeah.
Because I want to record the cost, not as a production. So that is what exactly. If I want to go to the recording, then I have to go for the inventory of raw material account to the consumption, GRI account.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. And next, tomorrow we'll see about the inventory of raw material account debit to GRI. Today we saw about the consumption, how the consumption account is coming, because we are taking the account assignment category as a K. If I don't take the K, how this inventory of raw material account is coming from, where it is coming, tomorrow we are going to be discussing that point. Still, we are in the goods receipt only. Then we'll go to the invoice receipt. Okay. Thank you very much, all of you. Take care. Right.
Thank you for attending the session. I hope you all enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Also, feel free to ask your questions in the comment section below, and we will reply to them at the earliest.